Today we are discussing Creutzfeldt-Jakob Disease, or CJD, along with variant CJD. These disorders belong to a group called Transmissible Spongiform Encephalopathies, or TSEs. The key thing to understand right away is that these are prion diseases. Prions are abnormal infectious proteins that cause progressive destruction of brain tissue. Unlike bacteria or viruses, prions are extremely resistant to normal sterilization and disinfection processes, which makes them unique and clinically important. CJD is rare, rapidly progressive, and unfortunately universally fatal once symptoms develop. In this lecture, we'll focus on the pathophysiology, clinical presentation, diagnostics, and the major nursing management priorities. The driving force behind these diseases is the prion itself. A prion is an infectious protein that contains no nucleic acid. That sounds strange because most infectious organisms rely on DNA or RNA, but prions do not. Because of that, they resist many traditional sterilization methods used in healthcare settings. These proteins trigger progressive brain damage without causing the kind of inflammation we normally expect with infections of the central nervous system. That is an important distinction. Clinically, once symptoms begin, the disease progresses very rapidly. Most patients decline over months, and death typically occurs within about 1 year after symptom onset. Here we can see the overall disease progression. The process begins with prion exposure, or spontaneous abnormal protein formation. The prion crosses the blood-brain barrier, becomes deposited within brain tissue, and eventually causes spongiform vacuoles, amyloid plaque formation, and rapid neuronal death. Now let's talk about where these cases come from. About 85% are sporadic, meaning they occur spontaneously with no known risk factors. Around 5 to 10% are familial or hereditary, caused by genetic mutations. Less than 1% are acquired through contaminated tissue, surgical instruments, or infected beef products in variant CJD. For NCLX and clinical recall, remember this: sporadic is most common, familial is genetic, and acquired is rare. Classic CJD and variant CJD follow different clinical patterns. Classic CJD usually affects older adults, with an average onset around age 65. Early symptoms are more cognitive, including memory loss, confusion, and visual disturbances. As the disease progresses, patients develop severe neurologic decline, such as ataxia, involuntary movements, paralysis, mutism, and rapidly progressive dementia. Most patients survive less than 1 year after symptoms begin. Variant CJD tends to affect younger patients, with an average age closer to the late 20s. The early presentation is often more psychiatric, including mood changes, sensory disturbances, and limb pain. Over time, patients develop rigidity, spasms, speech problems, severe incoordination, and sleep disturbances. So, for exam recall, classic CJD is older with dementia-focused symptoms, while variant CJD is younger with psychiatric symptoms appearing early. Diagnosis relies on a combination of clinical findings, CSF studies, EEG changes, and MRI imaging. In the CSF, one important biomarker is protein 1433, which suggests rapid neuronal destruction. On EEG, brainwave activity progressively deteriorates. You may initially see generalized slowing, then periodic sharp wave activity, and eventually burst suppression patterns in severe disease. MRI is also extremely important. One classic finding is hyper-intense signals within the basal ganglia. Now, technically, brain biopsy is definitive, but in practice, it is generally avoided because of procedural risk and concerns about prion contamination of instruments. So most diagnoses are made clinically, using the overall pattern of symptoms and supportive testing. Unfortunately, there is currently no cure and no disease-modifying treatment for CJD or variant CJD. Because progression is rapid and fatal, the clinical focus shifts towards supportive and palliative care early in the disease process. Nursing priorities center on patient comfort and safety. Patients often develop severe ataxia, rigidity, spasms, and progressive neurologic decline, so preventing falls, skin breakdown, and secondary injury becomes critical. End-of-life planning and hospice involvement should occur early, rather than waiting until the final stages. Family support is also a huge part of care. Families are coping with an extremely rapid decline, often over just months, so education, emotional support, and communication are essential nursing responsibilities. One major nursing concern with CJD is infection control, because prions are extremely resistant to normal sterilization methods. For routine patient care, standard precautions are generally sufficient because casual contact is not considered a transmission risk. The bigger concern is exposure to high-risk tissues such as brain, spinal cord, pituitary tissue, and eye tissue. Blood supply precautions are also strict because there is no reliable screening test for prions in donated blood. That's why blood donation restrictions exist for certain populations with possible exposure history. In surgical settings, specialized protocols are mandatory. Whenever possible, disposable instruments are preferred and then destroyed afterward. If reusable instruments must be used, they require extended sterilization and special bleach-based decontamination procedures. This is one of the key exam concepts. Prions survive many standard sterilization methods that normally kill bacteria and viruses. Here are the major takeaways for Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. CJD is caused by prions, which are infectious proteins that lack nucleic acid and resist standard sterilization. The disease causes rapidly progressive neurodegeneration without significant CNS inflammation. Most cases are sporadic, but variant CJD is linked to ingestion of infected beef products. Classic CJD affects older adults with dementia-type symptoms. Variant CJD affects younger adults with psychiatric symptoms early. Diagnosis is supported by MRI findings, EEG changes, and CSF protein 14-33 testing. There is no cure. Management focuses on supportive and palliative care, patient safety, family education, and specialized infection control procedures. And remember this key phrase: rapidly progressive dementia plus myoclonus should always raise concern for CJD. Here are the major takeaways for Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. CJD is caused by prions, which are infectious proteins that lack nucleic acid and resist standard sterilization. The disease causes rapidly progressive neurodegeneration without significant CNS inflammation. Most cases are sporadic, but variant CJD is linked to ingestion of infected beef products. Classic CJD affects older adults with dementia-type symptoms. Variant CJD affects younger adults with psychiatric symptoms early. Diagnosis is supported by MRI findings, EEG changes, and CSF protein 14-33 testing. There is no cure. Management focuses on supportive and palliative care, patient safety, family education, and specialized infection control procedures. And remember this key phrase: rapidly progressive dementia plus myoclonus should always raise concern for CJD.